So this is it, guys. This is the last article that was posted on Star Wars Battlefront 2. Exactly 1 year to the day was when we got news about the last update for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Insert sad emoji. And, in all seriousness, it is very sad that it's been a year. To me, it feels like it's been a lot longer for some reason. It feels like it's been 2 years since we've gotten the last Star Wars Battlefront 2 update. But as you can see, this was posted again exactly a year ago. It says, after 2 years of free content, the vision for Star Wars Battlefront 2 is now complete. And of course, the last DLC update that we got was Scarif coming to Supremacy. So they brought the Age of the Rebellion to Supremacy, which was a huge update. And honestly, I thought they were just going to keep on continuing it. And I was hoping that we'd see stuff like Coruscant and heroes like Ahsoka and so on and so forth. But it ended. It ended. And it says on April 29th, we're bringing the Age of Rebellion to Supremacy and Instant Action. Of course, that was last year, a year ago. And again, to me, I don't know about you guys, but to me, it feels like it's been 2 years or even longer. I don't know why that is, but it feels like it's been much longer since we've received the last Battlefront 2 update. And, as you can see in the gameplay right here on the screen, I've been kind of relying on mods on the PC to bring in some fresh content to Battlefront 2 and bring you guys some fresh gameplay while we report on and speculate on rumors of a Battlefront 3. Now, about that, I still believe that there's either a Battlefront 3 in the works or some type of Star Wars multiplayer game. And I don't think that EA is going to simply abandon Star Wars Battlefront because, that last update, it was immensely successful a year ago. And then also we have to be reminded that they brought Battlefront 2 back on Epic Games Store, which was a huge success with 19 million new players coming on board to the Battlefront when that released. That was not too long ago, by the way. So that shows just how much interest there is in the Star Wars Battlefront franchise. But everyone, share in the comments down below, what was your favorite moment or DLC or update from Star Wars Battlefront 2? Let me know in the comments. For me, it's a hard choice, but I think the Supremacy Clone Wars update was definitely by far my favorite update. I think when they brought in Supremacy into the game with the new Clone Wars heroes, it was a huge, huge update for me personally and really turned the game around because for me, that conquest style game mode, it's what Star Wars Battlefront is all about. It brings me back to the original Battlefront games. And for you guys that like Galactic Assault, I think it'd be pretty cool to see maybe some elements of Galactic Assault, Starfighter Assault, and Supremacy all merged into one game mode for a Battlefront 3. Not sure if they're ever going to do that, but I think that'd be a really interesting direction for the franchise. Because imagine you're playing like a conquest style mode in a Battlefront 3, and then here comes an AT-AT Walker or maybe a massive MTT that is an objective that you either have to capture and take control of or simply destroy. I think that kind of stuff would be really cool to see in a conquest supremacy type of mode. But yeah, I just wanted to go back in and relive the memories of Battlefront 2 and really talk about today, because today it was a sad day for Battlefront fans when they announced the end and completion of Battlefront 2. I remember it hit me to the core when that happened. I was very disappointed when they announced the news that Battlefront 2 was officially ending. And that was the case because, as you know, we have not received any official updates since then, and we really haven't heard anything about a Battlefront 3. I remember I was, honestly, as a fan, I was kind of angry because we didn't receive any news or updates about a Battlefront 3 or a Star Wars multiplayer game. So I really hope that this year is different. I hope that at EA Play, we get some type of big announcement for a Star Wars multiplayer game, whether it's a Battlefront 3, a Battlefront spinoff game, or something brand new that's even better than Star Wars Battlefront, which I'm not sure how that's possible because I do think that Star Wars Battlefront is kind of the definitive multiplayer experience for Star Wars, at least at the moment, and they should expand upon that. But we'll see what happens at EA Play this year. I'm also expecting, of course, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2, or a sequel or tie-in game to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order to appear at EA Play as well, because as you know, the EA CEO did state that they do want to continue Cal Kestis' story in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. But yeah, the memories for Battlefront 2, we went through a lot together. We went through the release, which was definitely not a happy experience. Then we had to go through the update where they had to fix the whole progression system. And then we started getting DLC updates slowly after that. And then the big one was, of course, the Clone Wars update with Supremacy. And then it ended, sadly. So, I recommend you go back, relive the memories, and let me know which DLC was your favorite. I mean, let me know in the comments. I think at the very end there with the Scarif DLC and with the Age of Rebellion, they were really heading in the right direction because they were giving us that core conquest mode that resulted in really fun gameplay and appropriate round lengths. Because I think the problem with the capital ships that I experience, at least, is that the rounds can just go on and on and on. You go from ground combat to capital ship combat to ground combat to capital ship combat, and it can just drag on for way too long. And I think Age of Rebellion was a really nice addition because it prevented that from happening. So hopefully in a Battlefront 3, they address this. Now, don't get me wrong, the capital ships were freaking awesome, like the interiors and that experience of going up into the capital ship. I do love that, but I think they didn't really address the issue of the rounds that kept on going on and on and on and seemed like never-ending rounds, and maybe they will address this. Well, they would have to address this in a Battlefront 3 because I know that a lot of players, including myself, don't like the experience of having to go back and forth constantly from ground combat to the capital ship combat to the ground combat and so on and so forth. So hopefully in a Battlefront 3 or whatever they have planned, they address this issue, maybe with a sudden death round or a timer. I did have some ideas about that. Maybe, they could do it where you go from ground combat, and then if you attack the capital ship and you end up losing that attack, you actually withdraw to your capital ship, and then that's the final stand round that determines the entire game. So kind of stuff like that would prevent the never-ending cycle of going from ground combat to the capital ship. I think that was one of the big issues with the Supremacy mode that included capital ships, and the Age of Rebellion kind of answered the question on how to solve that never-ending round, problem. But again, I love the capital ships. Don't get me wrong. I think the capital ships, in fact, they can almost be turned into their own conquest style maps with their own conquest points that you can capture. And maybe you'd be able to get into a starfighter and capture or weaken the defenses of the capital ships from the outside to gain even more points. But yeah, all kinds of ideas we can talk about on how to solve these problems that Battlefront 2 had and how to really fix them in a Battlefront 3. So leave your comments down below. What ideal game mode would you want to see in Battlefront 3? How would you improve upon the Supremacy game mode in a Battlefront 3 experience? Let me know in the comments down below. But that's going to do it for the video. I just want to talk about that today. I thought it was an interesting topic for sure, since today, of course, was a landmark day, or a very sad day, I should say, for Battlefront 2 a year ago. So hopefully this year's better, guys. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we get some news at EA Play. But that's going to do it for the video. Hope you all take care, have a good one, and may the Force be with you always.